Stephen, there's a very long list here. You have Warhorse, you have Lincoln, and then one I'm very excited about, Robopocalypse. I really enjoyed the Daniel Wilson novel. Tell us, how do you keep it all straight? I mean, how do you juggle all that?
Well, I've always done things, pretty much, I kind of operate on about 5 or 6 different tracks, all running in the same direction. And I love doing multiple projects at the same time, because one thing that directors lose, first of all, the first thing the director, really mourns the loss of, but happens to all of us, is our objectivity. And I find that when I do more than one project at the same time, I can go away and work a bit on Lincoln, and then let's say come back to post-production on Warhorse and really see it for the first time. So I use the projects to really, create some clarity in the way I can return and see what I can change, what I can shorten, how I can make it better. So it's actually been a benefit to me, not a deterrent.
Wow, that's fantastic.
Well, here's the good news. Of many of the movies that I've produced, I couldn't have made those movies as good as the directors who I hired to direct those movies, because those movies were more a part of their DNA than mine. But if there was one movie that I gave away, that I loved as close, as dearly as anything, and yet I gave it to, I thought, the best person for the movie, and I could have directed it. My wife read the script and said, "If you don't direct this, I'm going to leave you." Of course, she was kidding. We've been together almost 20 years, but that would be American Beauty. But even though that was the one that got away, it got away to the right director, Sam Mendes, and he won an Oscar for it.
So the producing seems to be going pretty well.
Yeah, I like producing. I mean, my favorite producing I've ever done, in terms of, and here's what I do as a producer: I hire the director and I go away. And that's the smartest thing I can do as a producer. By the way, that's the smartest thing that most producers should do when they produce for directors that should run the show. My happiest moment producing was producing Bob Zemeckis' 3 Back to the Future movies. Well, let me tell you the most important personal thing that ever happened to me in my life where a movie was concerned. And this is why it's my favorite movie to make. My favorite movie to make, which I hope you've seen, is E.T. And I'll tell you why it was my favorite movie to make. When we finish making a movie, we're with people for many, many months. They become like our family. But sadly, when a movie's over, everybody goes on to other movies and we go home alone. And I got so close to those kids, Robert McNaughton and Henry Thomas and Drew Barrymore, that this time when I went home from the production of E.T., I didn't want to go home. I wanted to come back to the movie, but it was over. And then I realized, why was I feeling so sad that experience had ended? And I realized, for the first time in my life, that I wanted to have children. I never felt that before E.T. I have 7 now, thanks to E.T. Well, the evolution of this technology has come to the point where we really, can be photorealistic to the extent that the animators not just create a facial character that slides into various poses or expression, but they create the musculature, they create the nerves, they actually create an anatomy that responds like we respond, or like any actor responds in a live-action movie. So the facial equivalent, as you can see on some of the footage, of an emotion, of an intensity, is exactly and absolutely lifelike. And that was just because we have evolved with this technology from the Polar Express, and the biggest quantum leap ahead, of course, were the Na'vi in Avatar. We were the very happy, beneficiaries of that technology and those animators. What keeps me going is you. If it weren't for you, I would stop. Seriously, you guys girls all keep us going. We cannot make the kind of audience movies we make without your support, and without the fact that you see them more than one time, and the fact that you write about them, and the fact that you're honest in your feelings about them, and you're also honest in your feelings about us. You don't love me all the time. You love me sometime. And sometimes you don't, and you take us to task. And by the way, it keeps us honest. Keep taking us to task when you feel like it, please.
Hello, Mr. Spielberg. Do you still like to use film?
Well, Peter Jackson is going to photograph this. So you, sir, are the luckiest man on the planet. This is the most perfected photograph in history.
I just wanted to know if you still use film.
I've used film on everything except Tintin because there is no film step in the technology. Otherwise, everything else is on film.
Okay, that was cool. That was pretty cool.
He was cool.
You know, we all come to Comic-Con to celebrate Hollywood magic. And when you guys think Hollywood magic, you think Peter Jackson and you think Steven Spielberg. Ladies and gentlemen, Peter Jackson.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for two special guest panelists from Tintin, Mr. Steven Spielberg.
All right, John, tell us what it was like to meet Steven Spielberg and Peter Jackson.
That was great. Pretty much what I wanted to do all my life. So.
Now they took a picture of your shirt. How did that make you feel? They made you feel like a star.
I was surprised that I was getting so much attention all of a sudden.
Yeah. So, how long you waited in line to get in this hall today?
Oh, I got here about 8 o'clock, so 3 hours. So.
Now the question line was long too, so you didn't wait long in line, and you didn't wait long in the line.
I was lucky because I was actually pretty much one of the first people in. I mean, the first maybe a couple hundred, I don't know. But there wasn't a very long line when I got here. So I mean, the Q&A line was not very long, so I just got in there.
That's incredible. People didn't even know Peter Jackson was going to be here today. You got in, not long. Got in the line, not long. You must be the luckiest guy here.
I think so. Yeah.
Now, where did you get your shirt?
I had it made at South Center Mall in Seattle. Or that's actually Tukwila, but Seattle.
Man, this is incredible. TV exposure. You got your shirt. They took pictures of you, and you got it. What's this? You got a doll here.
I don't know. That was a gift.
People are walking around
about it.
People are walking around and handing you gifts.
Yeah, they all want pictures with me. I think somebody else wanted a picture of me, but
man, you're getting pictures, and it's not even. It's just now 12:15. What do you? How can you top this the rest of the time?
A big lunch? I don't know.
lunch. Thanks a lot, man. Congratulations, man.
Thanks.
You're an instant star.